Now today, let's talk about me.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.
I know that by now most of you might be wondering how come one black man in the United Arab Emirates keeps ranting each and every time on his channel. What at all is this guy doing, or what does he do for a living? How come he has free times most of the times to come here and then talk to us? What is he really doing? What does he do? And what is he up to? My name is Kofi Pechi and I am a Ghanaian by nationality. This video actually has to do with how I became a graphic designer here in the UAE. And trust me, I had zero knowledge and I didn't have any kind of experience in taking on the job. But you know, the very day I stepped foot into this company and then my boss asked me if I could work with the company, I admitted and said what? Yes, I can. I didn't say yes because the salary was huge or they were going to pay me a huge amount of money. You know, I came in as a general helper. Yes, that is what most people will call it because I had zero knowledge and I had to learn from the people I came to meet here. So definitely I am a general helper who is actually trying to fit into the position of a machine operator. Now here we are. At the end of the day, I am a graphic designer. If you have been a part of this channel for quite some time, you would know that back in 2017, before I migrated into the UAE in 2018, a lot was going on in my life. I had lots of challenges back home. And of course, I was one of the people who was like, until I move out of this fucking country, I'm not going to make it. Excuse my language. But that was what I had in my mind. So I decided to make a move and then travel somewhere safe, somewhere better than Ghana, somewhere I can make ends meet, somewhere I can actually make a lot more money than I do in Ghana or I did back in Ghana. So fast forward, I moved to the UAE. I came in as a general helper in a company called Rexton Companies. Like we are those guys who were working on these kind of lights. In that company, I was a general helper. Now, in the first 2 months, they actually acknowledged my potentials and the boss decided to push me to quality control. I moved to quality control and I did an amazing job. Everybody there loved me, especially my supervisor. In working, I was submissive to the stupidity of some people, even though they were very, very, very annoying at a point in time. I don't want to be using some foul languages, but trust me, when I started working in that company, I realized that I was way above their league. I still had to keep my cool, submit myself, work under them, and learn the ways of the company, learn from them before I could rise, just like a falcon does. Back in 2020, I went for vacation in Ghana. When I returned, my reception into the company was very poor. In fact, that was the time when Corona was at its peak. And when you travel outside of the country, when you come, you need to undergo quarantine before you are allowed to go back to your company. That was around that time, 2020, 2021. I decided to quit the company, but before I quit, I have to get myself a replacement, or I have to get myself another company of which I can rely on before I move out of that company. So I started searching. It wasn't an easy task. It was a very difficult decision for me to make, and it was one of my toughest moments here in the UAE. So one day I was going to the supermarket to get myself some food stuff. As usual, you know, here you have to cook by yourself, or if you have a girlfriend, your girlfriend or your wife cooks for you. And since by then I was a single man who was hustling here in the country, I decided to go to the supermarket to get myself some food stuff. And on my way to the supermarkets, even though I was very eager to get myself a job, I wasn't that desperate to get or jump into any job. But mind you, when you are here in the UAE and you are working, once you leave your company or once you leave one company and you terminate your contract, you would have to be fast. You'd have to be very fast at either renewing your stay here or regularizing your stay here. If not, you might be paying for overstay charges here in the country. So I had to be very, very smart. I got myself reading this notice on the wall and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to take on this job because at the end of the day, who knows? This might be my chance also. So I took the number from the wall and then decided to come for the interview as stated on the paper. So I came, and when the then supervisor saw me, he asked me a couple of questions and he was like, after taking my answers, he was like, no, we don't need such people here, so I'm sorry, we can't take you. Lucky for me, the boss had just come or arrived at the company and he was taking an entry into his office. So he met me and he was like, young man, what are you doing here? I said, boss, I need a job. He said, okay, I'm the owner here. And what did the supervisor say? And I explained to him, I don't want to go into details about what really happened. But he was like, okay, I'm going to try you. If you like this place, go take a look at the company and what we do here. If you like it and you think you are interested, I can consider and then employ you. So I was like, geez, I am out of my troubles because I was running out of time. I was running out of money. Remember, I had just returned from vacation and I had zero money on me. Meanwhile, there were people who were depending on me back home. I had to pay fees. I had to pay this and that, pay some bills here and there. And I needed to be very fast about it. If not, I might end up paying fines, even though I had wanted to come here and then make money. So I took on the job. I was like, came around. There were over 25 embroidery machines, very huge ones over here in the company, very huge ones. Some were 8 heads, some were 16 heads, some were 12 heads. Charlie, if I tell you they were huge machines, they were huge machines. And guess what? It took me just 3 to 4 days to learn operating the embroidery machine fully. If I say fully, yes, of course, when I am given a job, I am able to stitch. I'm able to embroider. Whatever design you give me, I'll be able to do it for you. Let me take you back a little bit. Talking about learning from people you know more than, or people you think you are much knowledgeable than. But if you are not patient enough, if you are not dedicated enough, if you are not submissive enough, if you are not tolerating, or if you are not tolerant enough, if you are not that person who can swallow all bullshit from all people, all manner of people, bro, you cannot do what I am telling you. In fact, when I came here, it was very difficult for me. I came to meet some nationalities who claim to be better than my nationality. I don't want to talk about them. Let's focus on our video for today. So remember, I have taken on the job. I am a machine operator. When my visa came, it was a machine operator position given or assigned me. Yes, I loved the job so much, even though that was not the kind of job I was looking forward to. I loved it so much that I did it wholeheartedly. And then once again, I was so down to earth. I was still learning from this guy whom perhaps I might be a lot older than. The kind of perception you have that when you are older or when you are much knowledgeable than someone, there is no need for you to learn from them. Now I'm telling you my story, my personal story, for you to learn something from this, very video. It got to a point when my boss came. Do you know anything about computers? I was like, yes, I know a lot about computers. In fact, I know a lot about computers. So he asked me, what kind of software can you use? And as archaic as I am, as old school as I am that guy who used CorelDRAW. I told him I could use Word, Microsoft Publisher, PowerPoint, Excel. I was good at that. Then he was like, whoa, okay, then I think you are going to qualify for the next move that we are going into. Now, this video might be a little bit lengthy or might be shorter for people who might be enjoying it, because you might want to be learning a lot from this video. In my first company, I came as a helper. I was directly promoted to a quality control personnel because of my dedication and then how quick or fast I could learn. This is why, once again, I'll tell you that it is very important for each and everyone out here. Be very versatile in your field of work. Like, learn everything that happens in your field of work. Okay, when I came here, I came as a machine operator, embroidery machine. So we started to divert into fabric printing. Okay, so when we started the fabric printing, we started with heat transfer. Originally, we had a graphic designer who was already working in the company, for the company. Okay, so I had to go learn from him what he was doing with the designs here in this company, because you can be a graphic designer, but when you get into our company, you need to learn one or two things before you can fully qualify to work here with us. So I learned. I started with heat transfer, whereas you'd be sitting by the heat transfer machine and then operating it, making sure that the designs that come from the designer or from the printing room is well pressed onto the fabric from the paper with the aid of a heat transfer machine. That was what I started with. As time goes on, I was going into the graphic designing room once in a while to learn the ways of the graphic designer so that I could emulate whatever he teaches me when the boss asked me to do that, because he already told me to do so. I worked with the heat transfer machine for about a month or two. Should I say, yeah, a month or two. And I was very perfect over there. I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet. After some time, I was actually moved from the heat transfer machine to the printing area, where the whole printing is done from the printer directly onto the paper before it gets into the heat transfer for the fabric transfers. Okay, so I started printing for about 2 or 3 months, let's say 3-4 months again, and then I was once again moved from the printing side to the graphic designing room. This was the process, and this is what really happened with me when I came here to work in the UAE. Morals of this story, or The main reason why I'm talking plenty today is you can come here into the country as a mechanic, you can come here as a graphic designer. It doesn't matter what skill you come here into the country with. It is a good idea to most of the times come into the country skilled, at least know a trade, learn something that you can work with here in the country. When you come, make sure to learn. Even though it is not your field of expertise, or it's not your field of work, or it's not your line of work, try to learn something else, because you may never know. Maybe the skill you bring here is not going to be able to help you, or it's not going to be able to elevate you from poverty. But when you are able to learn around your surroundings, you can do a whole lot here in the country. Even though I knew about computers, I never knew about Photoshop until I started working here. And now I can operate Photoshop full time because I am very, very ready to learn each and every time. I love to learn new things each and every time. Even if I don't have the machines at hand, I love to learn something I can still work with. I am just trying to tell you to upgrade yourself, learn around you, learn stuff around you, learn your environment, learn whatever you are opportune to. If there is anything you'd like to know, if there is something you'd like me to throw light on, do well to put it in the comment section. I'll come give you a video on that. And if you want to ask any kind of question, just put it in the comment section. I'll come give you or respond to you on that. My name is Kofi Techi. If this is your first time on the channel, do well to hit on that subscribe button. I know you might have subscribed already, or you might not have subscribed. Do well to hit on that subscribe button, be a part of the family. And then if you're a returning subscriber, massive love, mad love to each and everybody out there. Until we meet again, I hope you stay safe, stay out of trouble, and be good. Subscribe, share to friends and family to do the same. See you on the next one.